The views and opinions expressed by guests on this podcast are their own and do not necessarily reflect those of the host or the management. This podcast should not be considered professional advice, and listeners should consult appropriate professionals for advice tailored to their specific needs.
And welcome to yet another episode of the UTI podcast. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you to the old subscribers for staying on. And don't forget to smash that like button underneath the video. And I'm Renee, and
I am Lisa Marie, and this is
KP Kelly.
all right. Nice to have you on.
Thank you for
the
having me
Gentle
on.
Giant.
Yeah, when I got the message that you wanted me to be on the UTI podcast, I thought, well, I don't know a lot about urinary tract infections, but I'm always willing to talk and help people out, so I'll go on and talk. And then when I got the description, I was like, ultra running makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can talk about ultra trail investment or disinvestment, whatever we should call
Yeah.
it. All right. So this race that we don't know what is, what was your finishing time?
My finishing time was 79:42:47.
Wow,
79:42. Okay.
that's specific.
Very specific, yeah.
And what was your travel time for this race?
Okay, so I put
Back and
40
forth.
I put 40 hours, which I don't know, you could argue even 50 hours. I am Florida, I call home. I've been visiting my father in Ohio, so I drove up to Ohio for about a week. Then I drove to where this location is. So I'm only counting
Right.
from Ohio to this location and back. So 40
Okay.
hours.
40 hours.
That was a simple
Okay.
question that I
So,
made very complicated.
So a work week.
Yeah.
That's about the time we spend sometimes.
Yeah.
But you still spend more than 2/3 of your time doing the running, so
Right.
it wasn't all traveling. Race fee, how much was that?
About $600.
Oh, that's a cheap one. That's good. And your travel costs, I mean, that must have been some meals, some coffee, snacks,
Yeah.
gas.
I put that down. Let's see here. Like 900 to 1,000, somewhere in there. 900.
All right. We're gonna give 950. And what about nutrition? Did you buy any nutrition for this race, or are you just gonna rely on the aid station?
Yeah, I mean, I put down $200 because I did buy a lot. I restocked at aid stations for my drop bags, and then, as always tends to happen, I ate very little of it and relied mostly on the aid stations.
What did you buy?
The Morton drink mix was a pretty fairly expensive compared to other things like it.
Mhm.
And I got a bunch of the 150 calorie ones to just add into like a 24-ounce flask of water where you barely taste it, just to try to find ways to get more calories in because that's always a battle for me. So a lot of that,
Okay.
and then gel, any type of gel blocks or chews. I like buying those because I can open a pack and eat one or two. Couple minutes later, eat one or two. So I'm not taking it all in at once. But then I also find the further I get into the race, just having that out and opening it and knowing that every couple minutes I'm taking one or two gives me something to do. Like besides just running,
Right.
there's like
Yeah.
something else to think about, and it kind of helps me a bit.
Yeah. That makes sense.
And I do want to say that he is a big guy. He's very, very tall. He's a big guy.
Yeah.
Looks like a dang defense player for NFL. So
Yeah.
he needs those calories.
Yeah, I'm 6'7", 290 pounds. So the amount of calories, I mean, in any ultra, everybody's at a calorie deficit. It's just a matter of how big
Oh,
of a
yeah.
calorie deficit. and for me, it's gonna be a good bit more because I also will start to struggle to eat enough calories eventually, and my need is so much more than other people that, man, any little way I can find to sneak calories in, I do it.
Right. Oh, that makes good sense. Yeah.
You need an IV
Yeah.
of Ensure.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. What about shoes? Did you buy any new shoes for this race, or did you just go with what you
No,
had?
I put $100 because 'cause I'm kinda factoring in shoes that I already had. I kinda used 2 pairs.
Right.
I probably used about $100 worth of shoes, if that makes sense.
That
Yep.
makes sense.
What kind of shoes do you wear?
Ultra, and I'm even forgetting the name of the shoe I use. They're higher cushion stability shoe, 0 drop.
Okay.
I used to use there was a certain type of shoe I used for years and years and years, and I started to have some heel problems all of a sudden, and I switched to the 0 drop, and I had no problem. So,
Okay.
same pair all the but I carry one that's just a regular, and then I'll have a wide that I switch into later in a race.
Yeah.
So you're probably wearing the Lone Peak or something, or
Some
the
start some
upgrade of it.
Yeah, something with a P, I think it starts with, a non-trail shoe.
Oh, okay.
I like to it's
Paragon.
very yes, yes. It's very rare that I go into a trail shoe unless it's gonna be very technical and bad weather. Otherwise, I'm so much more
Right.
comfortable in the regular shoe that it ends up being safer even though the traction's not quite as good.
Mhm.
Okay. Oh, another ultra runner.
Yeah. Everyone is different, which is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, the Zero shoes just doesn't work for me, but that's why there's so many different shoes out there. Not
Yeah.
everyone is the same.
I need 0 drop, so I
Okay.
understand.
Um, so what about essentials like that extra pair of shorts you forgot, the rain jacket you realized you
Yep.
suddenly needed, or as Lisa Marie says, did you buy a camper for this race?
Then all of a sudden the expense of yeah, so I put
Yeah.
$200, um, and
Okay.
it's mostly like, if you ask me to list all the things I bought, I've already forgotten most of them. It's all these little things that just start to add
Right.
up, like, "Oh, I could use, I should have an extra Scrolls nut butter in this drop bag, so I need to buy 1 more of those and 1 more of this," and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, if you look at your bank account, it's like, "Whoa, I spent a little bit more
Yep.
on that stuff than I thought I was going to."
Exactly. Um, okay, that's it's not bad. I mean, you spent 30% of your cost was the race fee.
Mhm.
That's we've been there
Yep.
many times.
Yeah.
So was this a fixed distance race or a timed race?
Fixed distance.
Fixed distance. Okay,
Yep.
so 79.66. What was your goal time?
Um, so under 80 hours was the main goal. I had a thought of doing sub 72 as my B goal, but once I learned that was out of the question, then I took a little bit more time and my main goal had always been to go under 80.
Okay. And what was the cutoff time for this race?
84 hours.
84 hours. Okay. So I had to break these things down because people are starting to cheat. Um, so I broke it down into three different categories on your time. So there's the performance, ambition, and aggressiveness.
Mhm.
So your performance is how well did you do compared to your goal time? And that is a 0.58.
Which is
So
good.
it's a number between 0 and 1.
Okay.
Your ambition was a 0.53, and that's based on your goal time compared to the cutoff time. So the people who say my goal was to finish, they get a 0 ambition because the goal time is the same as the cutoff time.
Right.
And the aggressiveness is your finishing time compared to the cutoff time, which in this case was zero point 0.4. So not a bad score at all. Um, gave you a 0.489, which is close to the zero point 0.5 that the score goes between 0 and 1. And most people make it up on the next sections, which is all the fun stuff that Lisa Marie is going to take care of.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. So, you know the you know the deal. I'm gonna ask you a question, you're gonna rate it and tell me why. No judgment, because this is your race report, and,
Right.
I want you just to let it all out. So let's start with the aid stations. What would you give it and why?
I would say a 10.
Okay.
Um, yeah, this aid station had volunteers that had volunteered at this event previously, a lot of experienced people, but then some people who weren't, who just kinda came out and spent hour after hour at the aid stations, and the food was really good with a lot of options. Um, there were if you needed to lay down and sleep somewhere, they would make it happen for you. There was always blankets at the aid stations and plenty of chairs, plenty of people to help you out. The later aid stations where you're just trying to open up your water bottle and that takes you can't mentally even do that. There was always somebody to help you do that. So yeah, I thought it was one of the best experiences I've had in terms of aid stations at a race. With one thing with the food though, I rate it a 10. As I was just thinking about
Okay.
other people, I was thinking about this race. Every aid station I rolled in that maybe only had 1 or 2 types of food, it was food I liked. So great for me, but, like,
Yeah.
I'm thinking in particular, there was one that I rolled into that all they had was barbecued pulled pork sandwiches, and I was like,
Oh,
"Awesome,
wow.
give
Right.
those to me." But if I'm a back of a packer. If you're someone that's going a little faster and, barbecued, pork on your stomach is probably not gonna be so good once you get moving again, so for me, it was awesome.
Right.
For I don't know for what
Yeah.
other people's experiences might have been at some of them.
Yeah.
But that doesn't matter because this is your race
Yep,
report.
This is
this
my
is your
race.
race
This
report.
is my report.
It's your race. So, was that your highlight of the things that were offered, or was there maybe somebody that was there that cheered you on or maybe listened, gave you a hug?
Yeah, I mean,
Um
I think I ate so much food at the aid station that the race lost money on me. I and I was just having no stomach issues, and I know calories are a big issue for me, so I just kept
Mhm.
scarfing it down. There was one where they had all sorts of breakfast foods, and I love breakfast foods, and so that was um, probably my favorite one, although there was one where they were making bacon cheeseburgers that were really good.
Ooh,
Um,
Oh,
ooh.
and it hit me at a very good time too, so those 2 kinda stand out.
Oh, wow.
okay. Oh,
I
nice.
like a good bacon cheeseburger.
I think we need to run that.
Yeah.
I did
Uh,
eat I ate 3 of them. They made
Oh
2
gosh.
for
oh,
me
So you
because everybody was having 2. I laid down for 30 minutes. When I came back out, there was a 3rd one waiting for me, and I was like, "I really okay, I'll eat it."
but
I was gonna say, did you eat one for me?
Yeah, I ate one for everybody, really.
There we go. So, did you have a fun factor? And, or did you
Yeah,
not have fun?
I put 10 again. A lot of that is the people that I shared miles with, some different people at different points. Just the brief
okay.
interactions at aid stations with the people there. And then I didn't have, too many mental lows, so I was enjoying the what I was towns I was passing through and the views and things maybe a little bit more than I normally do. And then I at no point did I really feel too bad. So, as I'm looking back and thinking
Okay.
about it, the fun factor is pretty high. Races that I have some really, really
Right
long
That's
on.
prolonged struggles, it's gonna be a little lower.
yeah.
Yeah. So that sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, trail markings.
Uh, I put down an 8 for this. This is a race that doesn't need a whole lot of marking. Um, the only thing is uh, when there are times where you're changing streets and things, the markers are really low to the ground and small. So depending on the races that you're used to, you might not quite pick up on that visually. And then Yeah, it can be just be there's only a couple of sections where maybe you're unsure of where you're turning and you'd like a couple of confidence markers maybe. But where this
Right.
race is, it's not possible to put them in some of the places due to
Oh.
private property and things. So,
Oh, yeah.
um, so you just kind of, but you know, it was something where almost everybody is going to see somebody at least in front of them or behind them and know that like, if I stop seeing somebody, I should really look at my watch, my GPX and make sure I'm in the right spot. So
Right.
You know, that I've been asking people, when it comes to trail markings, where do you like them? Um, it's been very interesting listening to what people actually have to say about that. Some like them high, some like them hip, waist, or knee, or right on the ground. So, what do you prefer? You know, going straight and maybe into the turns.
I probably prefer them at like eye level. At nighttime when you have your lamp and you're kind of only you might be looking that direction, maybe kind of a little bit below eye level too is good, but you're not necessarily
Yeah.
looking really low or looking really high. But I think the main thing is that they're in the same place all the time. So it's the same level,
Right.
always on the same side, always the same color. Then it's on you. If you don't see them, that's your fault. So as long as it's consistent, I like it.
Okay.
Okay. And, you know, this is at the end of the year. I'm going to be taking everyone's answers and kind of putting them into perspective. And I think where you're going to find it very interesting.
Okay.
Especially yours is the first that I've heard that likes them higher. That is so interesting. Um,
Might have
but
to
we're
do
gonna
with my
move on
height
to the I think that's what it is, but I mean, like, during the day, I do prefer it higher, but at night, I prefer it lower
for a
because
lower.
I
Yeah.
tend to look at the ground
Yeah.
so I don't fall.
Mhm.
Um, so how about that weather? Did you have any weather that was
Yeah.
fun? You hated it?
Um, I put 8. The weather, it was hot. A little hot sometimes with no shade and long time
Mhm.
between aid stations. So that kept it from being a 10. But other than that, the temperature range was really good and there was no storms. I wasn't sure what I would do in terms of the rating because sometimes I do like storms because that makes it a
Yeah.
little exciting. Or sometimes I find when there's a decent rainstorm, my times end up faster because I'm not on my phone at all. My head is just down and I'm just moving. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
sometimes weather can be good, but I appreciated not have to dealing with too much and having kind of a similar temperature range the whole race.
Oh, I don't know if you can hear me, you just like you got
Oh,
stuck for a second.
can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So, you know, not everyone gets to rate Mother Nature, so, you know, take it or
Mhm.
leave it. She might
Yep.
be coming after you soon.
Yeah. And that's one of the things we can't blame the RDs for that.
Yeah.
There's nothing they can
Right.
do about it.
No.
Nothing they can do. Yep. And I've
Uh,
had a string. I had a string of
so
several bad weather hit me. So it was nice to have some good weather.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, it is nice when it everything kinda starts working out, yeah.
Yep.
But also sometimes it's just a little rain shower comes in. It kind of cools you down and makes you move a little faster.
Yep.
It
Yep,
can
for
be
sure.
motivating.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, did you have any pacers?
I did not.
Okay.
No pacers, no crew.
Okay,
But
All right.
I would say my experience kind of the aid stations that I rated a 10 was so good that it felt like I had a crew every time I was at the aid stations. And I shared so many miles with people that it kind of almost felt like I had a pacer the whole time, or that I was a pacer at times, you know? Mm.
those are the best kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you said that you didn't have any blisters, but did you have any chafing,
Oh,
stomach or no, you said you didn't have any stomach issues. So, did you
right.
have any blisters, chafing, or things that we don't talk about that we really should talk
That
about
we
now?
shouldn't, that we'll talk about.
You're
Yeah.
gonna talk
So,
about right now?
yeah, blisters were, yeah, I'm gonna find a good way to talk about this. The blisters were the best they've ever been for me. Still some, but I've gotten the feet care thing down finally
Okay.
after 30 years of endurance distance running, finally clicked.
Mm.
But the chafing was horrible. Um, yeah, so I put it at, I would say a 3 because the blisters are great, chafing terrible, and it was
Right.
but in the spot between the legs, the private kind of area, um,
Yeah.
just there's no way I tried walking every which way and adjusting my clothing and nothing. I rolled into an aid
And
station and it was talking about it, and there was a guy who's like, "I was crewing somebody before that was having this problem, and I took some, was it Leica tape? I used some of that, put that on,
oh god.
and it worked." And I was like, I know that tape when you put it on your feet, it can take a week to get off. So I was like, that's really a hit or miss option. But then I got to the next aid station and I was like, all right, I'm doing it. And it worked great.
Did
So
you?
it worked
Okay.
great. So the last part of my race, the chafing was not an issue. And then about a month later, the tape came off.
That's what I was going to ask.
So, did you also have the famous butt crack chafing?
Yeah, that's why it was put there all the way kind of up from there. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't
And
matter how
there's
much
it,
nut butter you put
yeah, I
on,
mean,
it's gonna happen.
if I'm doing between 50 and 100 miles, I'll start to have that being an issue. Anything over 100 miles, there's nothing I can do for that to not be an issue at some point.
Right.
It just happens.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, it's like once the squirrel stops working, there's just it's done. It's the chafing's there, and
Yeah.
you
Yeah, you
got to
can
be
reapply all you
original.
want and
It doesn't help. It
The
doesn't help.
squirrel's sitting there laughing at you.
Mhm.
No. um, so how about the lavatory facilities, aka porta potties, whether they were outdoors or in a nice porta
Okay.
potty?
I put a 2 on this, and I don't wanna sound like a negative complainer about it, but it's just the reality of this race where there's a long period of time where you're going between possibilities, for that, and there's usually just one. Um, so if you're kinda going with a group of people, you're waiting.
Yeah.
So it's kinda, if I for this particular race, that's probably one of the downsides. But again, it's not really, there's not much you can do about it, but, it's one where if you see a bathroom, use the bathroom, even if you don't think you need
Right.
it, because
Yeah.
it might be 25 to 45 miles before you see your next one.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's my thing is, I
D
always tell Renee, I'm like, if we're rolling into an aid station, he's like, I don't have to go. And I'm like, I don't care. He's like,
Yeah, I
I'm
have
not
to
a
have
child.
and
Did you
I don't mind or finding a tree to stand behind and water the
Yeah.
plants, give them some high testosterone
There you go. I
watering.
started to
Oh my God.
I struggled with stopping to use the porter pots or things because I didn't wanna waste time ever. But, I learned in my mind, I think of it as I'm gonna have some time where I'm sitting on a chair at some point anyway.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
this is my sit down time. And that got me to
Yep.
start to accept that, okay, when I see these, I can take a couple minutes and stop. Everything will be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's you time.
Yeah. Yeah. Get some alone
Yeah.
time.
Okay. Did you have any trail naps, any dirt naps or falls?
What did I put for that? Oh, I put a 7. Took a couple of dirt naps. I I saw a picnic table at one point in the middle of nowhere, and I tried laying on top of the picnic table. It took me about 7 or 8 minutes to get situated, and then about 1 minute after laying down, I was like, "No, I don't wanna do this. This isn't comfortable," and I got going. But I had a couple of trail naps at nighttime where I didn't really sleep all that much, but there was no clouds. I could see the stars real clear. So I wanted to
Mhm.
purposely take some time to actually enjoy that. And so I laid down a couple of times and mostly just looked at the stars. But it was like I remember it still vividly now that it's a part of my experience and was good couple of moments taking the trail naps. And I had one
Yeah.
then where I was in a real low spot. I was just doing that, kind of death march going super slow. Um, and I knew somebody was pretty close behind me. So I just laid down it took about 10 minutes for them to catch me. And then I got up and went with them for about 10, 15 miles where we helped each other. And that ended up being good decision that I waited. Good trail nap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, nice.
no falls
And
for me.
no falls. Good. Because that would have caused an earthquake, I'm sure of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Ugh,
Just
timber.
destroyed some of the trail.
So your mental state, I am dying to know.
I don't know if my rating would be the same as the people that were around me during the race. Who knows what they would rate me? I'd like to ask them all. But I put a 9, just because this is compared to other races I've done, mentally I was in it almost the entire time. There are times where I'll kind of start to go a little slower for no reason, and my mind really isn't in it. I'm not focusing. And that will happen in any race for me, but it was a very limited portion of this race. And I wasn't really down on myself. I think any ultra I've ever done, and I think a lot of people are like this, I can I never DNF, but I always consider it.
Right.
And not only do I consider it, I map out the plan in my mind. I'm like, if I
Yes.
stop at this aid station, I can get to the finish here, and then I'll get a hotel there, and I'll map it out. And then I never do it, but I map it out. I didn't do that much in
Right.
this race. So the mental state was
Oh,
I was happy to be out there. I wanted to keep being out there. And then I ended with a really good mindset, feeling good. So mindset was really good in this one for me.
Right
that's
on.
awesome. Yeah.
And I hear you. I've never heard anyone mention it that way before to where you map out the DNF. I have done that myself, and and I would get home and think, what the heck was I thinking even? I'm not, wasn't worried about the thought that I had the DNF there, but what the heck was my plan all about? How was I actually going to get to this place with a bathtub and
Yep.
this steak? So I get you.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing. Hallucinations, though, that's come on, you had to have hallucinations.
I put a 9 for that.
Anything.
Um, I didn't have anything too bad, so I rated it that way. If I supposed to rate it the other way, I would have done a 1, but for me, not having bad ones made it rate high. There were a
Okay.
couple of periods of times where I thought I saw animals I that weren't there. But I was kind of aware that I was seeing something that wasn't there. I wasn't kind of startled because I've had races where I'm certain I'm about to run into a bear and I think it really is a bear. Of course, I still go forward. It's like, okay, I guess I'm going to wrestle a bear.
Yeah.
And then I
Yeah.
end up
Yeah.
happy it was just a tree. Yeah, I did though.
Yeah.
Another reason for hallucinations, I had some people around me that were having some really big hallucinations, and that made it fun for me to hear their stories. It was also almost tempting to join in and play up their hallucination, like, "I see it too." Yeah,
Yes.
but,
Yes.
yeah.
You're one
I
of those.
yeah, I came upon somebody who was having a hallucination that she was grocery shopping, and
Oh,
Oh, wow.
wow.
Okay.
she was taking her cart on the trail. And when I
She had
came
the
up
hand
upon her,
movements?
yeah, she let me know that's what was happening, and so she was really in the hallucination. Then she was in the point where she kinda knew she was hallucinating, but she was still a little bit in it, and I was like, that's one of the more unusual ones. Hope you found some good deals while you were shopping.
Yeah. I would ask what she was shopping on. There was any 2-for-1 deals.
Yeah. If
Yeah,
she could
yeah,
pick me up something. I'd like a bacon burger, please.
yeah, yeah. Well, I had enough of those, so
A Snickers, I don't know.
yeah, always satisfying.
Oh, that's fabulous. And we'll have to talk about who that was so I can get that person on. Um, so how about the race versus the description? So, you're reading the race manual and you're mapping it out in your head, but you get out there and you're like, no.
So I put it a 9 for me. I think for some other people, it might rank in the 7-ish range or 8-ish. I think it was very accurate and straightforward. There are certain parts, early on in this race that are more challenging than the description would let you believe.
Mm,
And so for people that aren't expecting that or aren't prepared for that, that can make the description maybe rating a little low for me. But for me, I was well aware what I was getting into, and thinking back even to what was on the website and ultra sign up, it was all right. The aid stations were exactly the mileage where they were supposed to be, which is great because we know how it is. If it's point 0.1, if you get there and you still don't see the aid station, it might only be point 0.1 away, but in your mind, that can be
yeah.
something that you can be angry about for hours for no reason. Um,
Yes,
so
Yeah, but
absolutely.
yeah.
yeah,
And we like to blame the RDs for everything that
Yeah.
goes wrong.
yeah, yeah. I,
Yeah.
I I was just listening to a running. It was the Distance to Empty podcast, Kevin Goldberg. And it's around 200s and it's really good. But he had the phrase in there something about being angry at one part, and he's a very happy, positive guy. And so it was funny to hear him kind of say that phrase because I was like, "Oh, that's true. We will find a reason to get randomly angry at
Mhm.
some point in an
Yeah.
ultra that is something that is maybe entirely our fault, so we shouldn't be angry, or totally out of everybody's control and doesn't really make a difference at all. But you get a little sleep deprived, a little hungry, you get angry
Mhm.
about something."
Yep.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Absolutely 100%.
Mhm.
Okay, so when you got to this race, you got a bag with some
Swag
swag in it,
bag.
and then you got a medal or a buckle at the end. So, what was in your swag bag, and how would you rate that and the medal and the buckle?
Swag bag, a shirt, very a technical hoodie pullover, um, that was a little unusual compared to what other races give. Yeah, I thought the swag was good, and there was a lot of options for you to buy some other things if you wanted to. And then the medal is why
Mhm.
I ranked it a 9 because I love the medal. It's a race that always has some similarities in their medals, but they're a little bit different each year. And
Mhm.
so I like that and really enjoyed the medal.
Do you
Huh.
wear your buckles?
I don't. I keep contemplating doing it. Maybe at some point I will, but I feel s I don't know. The thing is about if how do you know if somebody's an ultra runner? Don't worry, they'll tell you. Same for marathon or same for CrossFit. It's like, if
Mm,
I'm wearing my belt buckle, sometimes I feel like, am I, inviting people to come ask me about it too much? But at the same time, that would be great. I won't pretend that I wouldn't
yeah.
Yeah.
like to have that conversation, so maybe I should wear it, and people will ask me about it, and then I get to talk for 30 minutes and forget that I should ask them some questions and listen to them a bit, but
Yeah.
Are you saying that ultra runners are selfish?
We do tend to talk about running.
We do.
yeah,
I do wear my buckle, and I've never engaged in the conversation. I don't know if maybe just no one's looking, but to me, inside my head, I'm like, "Look at this buckle.
it's awesome.
Look here," but no one's looking.
Yeah.
I'd worry I'd find ways to stand and kinda show it off and,
So, what was
Okay.
that score?
Oh, so your experience score, which is what we call the second half, is 7.6. This is a number between 0 and 10.
yeah,
And yeah, so this is a race you enjoy very much, and I wouldn't be surprised if you would go back to it.
I bet you are. I just have a
Um,
feeling.
and this brought your total UTI score up to 0.627, which is above the half
Yeah.
point of the.
So you're in the upper half.
You're in the upper half of
okay.
the people we've had on so far.
As a back of the pack
That's
runner, that's higher for me than normal, so
it's funny because it seems that the low mid packers and end of the pack tend to score higher, and I think it's because they enjoy the race more.
Yeah.
Mm.
Um, so
Yeah, so all those
and
little
they
things, they kinda bump up a bit because they enjoyed the race,
yeah,
so
and some of them surprise themselves. They set really, really low expectations to themselves, and then they surpass it, which brings up the score as well because they did so much better than they thought they would.
yeah.
Um,
That
so so I'm not surprised at all. So that is a good score.
mm,
I bet I
I'll
know what
take
the
it.
race is.
Well, I
I have
mean,
a feeling I know too. I mean, the
yeah, I there
84
was a couple of
hours
answers.
kinda
There
gives
was a
it
couple of
away.
answers, yeah. There were a couple of answers that I gave in there. Even without that, there was some where I was like, "Oh, I bet, there's no tricking them," but this race
Yeah,
was one that I
and
I
then
absolutely love, and I love the race directors and the people that do it,
Mhm.
and I do it every year, and so it was one that I really wanted to talk about because if I'm gonna amplify a race or encourage people to do a race, it's this race or the races put on by these race directors.
right.
Yes.
So I'm guessing this is the Cowboy 200.
It is.
So let's
Oh,
It
talk
would
I
have been
about
I
so
was
bad
supposed
if that was wrong.
yeah,
so I love seeing you every year at the start line. It's like I get to get my giant bear hug. And when I say this guy is tall, he really is tall. I'm a
mhm,
tall female, and
Yeah,
and it's just I just like we're running with NFL football players.
yeah. Well, you know what? You might say you're at the end of the pack, but I do
No,
remember that we ran into you at the halfway point in Atkinson at one year.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, I mean,
So it's not like you're
I have I have potential to run a good bit faster. I've kinda had 2 running careers where early on when I started, I qualified for Boston a couple of times. I was, kind of
mhm,
back of the front of the pack, and then I got older and bigger, and I became back of the pack. I've never really been the middle of the pack, but I do still have some natural speed and things where if I'm feeling good and start to run a little bit, then all of a sudden I'm kinda a little forward in the group with other people like yourselves, but then inevitably, I kind of fall back in most of these, and I end up generally, if a 200 miler, I'm a couple hours before the cutoff, or same with a 100 miler.
okay.
Mhm.
But I want to say that you are an elegant runner because an email went out this year, or it was on Facebook, and it went out, and you invited everyone to do the first mile together,
Mhm.
and there was so many people that felt the grace. It was a grace for them because they were worried about, "Are we gonna finish? I hate being in the back of
Right.
the pack."
Yeah,
But you made them feel welcome. I was hearing it up and down the trail, that there's this guy, and we're gonna do all this, and you put a lot of people at ease.
yeah,
And,
Um, Thank you. Yeah, it went better than I thought, so I posted about a solidarity mile to do the
yes.
first
yeah,
mile together just walking, 'cause I said, "Hey, we're all gonna walk at some point anyway. Let's do
Mhm.
it the
yeah.
first mile as a little warm up." And, of course, the first couple messages were like, "Hey, don't you always go out too fast? Are you just using this as a reason to start out slow?" And I was like, "Well, partially, yes, yeah, but I also think it would be good." And then I was surprised that I mean, it was almost half the runners, and there was a couple
Mhm,
of
Yeah,
people that finished, like, under 60 hours that joined us for
mhm.
it.
yeah.
So it was pretty cool, and, like, everybody kinda stayed behind me too, which I was looking at, I was like, "Oh, I'm leading this big group of, people." I even had a friend that messaged me that was got, like, my s looking at the tracker and saw me, like, a mile in, and they're like, "You're in, like, the top 20-25%." And I was like, "Well, no, it's just because I'm leading the walk. Just give it a second." But that it was pretty cool, and I
But
think
that
you're right. It does ease people's minds about being in the back
mhm.
or
Yeah,
that, and then the other thing is you can talk while you're walking, and you all of a sudden get to know a couple people that are gonna do about the same time as you are, and now even if you went there
yeah,
all alone with no crew, now you know a couple people. So, I thought that was pretty cool about it
Right.
too.
exactly.
Well, and at this particular race, there's a lot of people using that as their first 200.
Right.
And so it really just put a lot of people at ease, and it's kinda like, walking into a place for the first time and doing public speaking. You put them at ease like that. That was their public speaking,
Yeah.
having to do that
Do that
200.
with it,
And
yeah.
let's be honest.
Yeah.
A 200-mile race is not determined in the first mile.
No.
Right,
So
right. Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
it's almost good mentally to because you get it out of the way. Like I'm walking here now, and so now if I
yeah,
have to walk, whenever I have to start walking again, hey, not a big deal.
yeah.
exactly, yeah. And as you said, get to know some people, have someone you
Yeah,
can probably either catch up with or that will catch up with you later, and
yeah,
then you're not strangers.
and I had that. I had some couple people that kind of met in the first mile, and then came upon them later, and already knew their name, and
Mhm.
shared some miles with them, and they already knew me, so they weren't afraid of this giant guy that they're coming upon in the middle of the night. They knew it would be okay.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
that is awesome. That
did you see the camels? Because I mean, everyone's like, "Oh, no, they weren't there." Oh, they were there, we took pictures, so we have proof, but did
So
you
you
see
saw,
them?
and then when you took the picture and saw the picture, they were in the picture. It wasn't just
Yes.
hallucinations. Okay. I did
it
not
was
No.
see
not
camels.
hallucinations, no.
I mean, you see all sorts of
And
livestock out there, but I didn't see camels.
Yes, there was 2, and then
it
what
was
was
between Stewart and Bassett.
yes, and what was there
Okay.
was a deer stand over there, and I'm like, "Oh, no, are we gonna cut and eat the camels?" But it was an upscale deer camp, so, a deer stand, so what I'm thinking and I'm hoping is that they were just observing the camels.
Apparently, the guys that have the camels used to have the largest flock of zebras in the US.
Oh
Huh,
wow.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Casey told me that.
Okay, so even Casey knows
She
about it.
was not
Shit.
impressed because she knew the guy that had them.
Oh.
Everyone was impressed, but except for Casey.
Well, there is. I mean,
So what
the animals you see along the Cowboy 200 is I enjoy it there. And for people who aren't familiar with the race, you're on a trail for almost the whole time, except for diversions early
mm,
on. And there are
Yeah,
just farms with animals with just outside the reach of really the trail. There are fences almost the entire time. But I think it's a living being's nature that as far as they can go, they will go. So they're pretty close to the fence almost all the time. And I've stopped and talked to some of them at times just to have an interaction with a living being, and they're usually curious and watching you, and so it's the presence of a living being does give you a little bit of energy and gives
yeah.
you something to kind of look at.
Well, you always try to call the cows.
yeah, it's a
Or
good conversation to
Yeah,
talk to a cow, and
it
they
is.
all stop and they're like, "What are you doing?"
But they don't like me. They don't like my Danish moo accent.
Yeah, they don't.
I moo with a Danish accent.
Yeah,
they don't.
it's not pretty.
Yeah, that
I was like,
Nebraska
"Who's
cows
that?
don't.
Who's that? Who's that?
Who's
Who's
that?
that?
Mm,
Who's that?"
mm.
Yeah. What's he saying?
Nebraska cows
So
don't
what
speak
part
Danish.
Nope,
no.
they do not.
So what part do you find the hardest part? If somebody was to say to you, "I wanna run this," but, is there any part that's just mentally challenging?
Yeah, I
Because I
think
would say that the
undoubtedly when I said the race description. The
Mhm,
one thing is that it's called detours, 2 detours early
Yeah,
on, but they're
mm,
they're gonna be part of the
mm,
race forever. It's part of the course and it's part of the experience. But I probably in the first mile, I probably hyped that section up too much to people. They were expecting something horrible. But when you're thinking cowboy trail flat the whole time, you do about 30 flat
mm-mm,
miles and then you
mm,
go off on pavement and it's never ending rolling hills for like 10 miles. And then a couple miles
right.
later, you kind of have the same experience again. There's this famous dirt sand road that's about
Yeah,
3 miles long that this year, because the race was a little later, I think there were tons of vehicles, tractors and things on it that smoothed the road out.
oh,
But usually, and there
yeah,
are a couple sections like this, usually there's just nowhere good to put your foot. And it's basically like a 20 to 25-minute mile for everybody through that section. And this year was a little bit better, so it wasn't quite as bad. But you're gonna get when you're doing trail for most of the race and you get off and do pavement and you're doing flat and all of a sudden you're doing inclines, it feels a
yeah,
lot more challenging than it is.
yep,
And so probably that part, and then the other thing is just long stretches between aid stations. So
yes,
yeah,
as you get later in the race where every mile seems like it's taking forever, those long stretches get a little tougher. So that can be kind of a hard part. But it's for me, when I think about this race, I think about getting through the 2 early detours. If I get through those feeling okay, I'm good. And that's, I think, 50, early 50s maybe, that's over with. So
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
52.
I find the second detour the worst because it's like you always hit it like late in the day when the sun is
yeah, the sun's
beaming
setting.
down on you.
It's
Yep.
hot,
Yeah,
And
and
there's
then the
no
and
sun's
place
it's
setting
to
later
so
on.
hide. Yeah.
and thankfully this year I was smart. I had my crew to fill up my bladder with ice and water. So I had nice
Okay.
cold water for that section.
Yep, and there's that gas station. It's just like it's like
Yes.
heaven to see. We brought
Yeah.
cash this time.
I had not stopped in that. So I did this last year, and I had 2 people that I did probably well over half the race with. But we were coming up to the gas station, and they were gonna go to the gas station, and I looked at it, and I was like, "That's like 1/16th of a mile away. That's gonna add, like, 3 or 4 minutes. I'm not gonna stop." And I kept going. And then I hit a low, and I'm going so slow. They pass me, and they're telling me how great the ice cream sandwiches were and that they had a hamburger, and I could hear them coming for like a mile, just chit-chatting and laughing and having a great time, and I was like, "Oh, man, I made 'em," and then they got to the next aid station like an hour ahead of me, so I was like, "Okay, next year, my whole pacing
Yeah.
chart was designed around making sure I get to the gas station well before it closes."
Mhm.
Yeah. And that is strategically well placed.
I had chocolate milk.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah. And then we share some fries.
Yeah. So yeah, I definitely would suggest that you go
Yeah.
in there. They're waiting.
It's
They have extra food all. I mean, it's
Yeah,
like they
yep.
know.
I know. Yeah.
They're like,
That's
Yeah,
"How
once
many
they
are
realize
behind
what's
you?" And I'm
happening.
like, "Yeah."
yeah.
And then the community sits there at the gas station and just kind
Yep.
of watch. And you look at them and they're just like giggling and like, what are they laughing at? And then I realized we are walking
It's
probably
us.
very funny. Yeah. So when you came over or under the finish line, how did it feel this year? I think this is your third finish. Am I correct?
3rd time doing this one, yeah.
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 Hmm.
Great. A lot of people in this race, what's kinda cool is no matter when you finish, there's people there to greet you.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Always both race directors, and it finishes at a brewery where there's some free beer, which tends to keep people there for hours, and some of
Hmm.
the
Yeah.
people that win the race might be there 30 hours later just hanging out. And so when you
Yeah.
finish, everybody comes out and cheers for you because they can see you coming from over a quarter mile away or so, about a quarter mile away. So they come out and they start clapping and cheering. And so that happened this year. But for me, I ran the last part. My fastest miles by far were my last 7. So I was just
Oh.
in a groove and taking off and running that part. So I got in a little faster than they expected. So there was fewer people out there than normal. Um, but then when I went in, they were all standing up and clapping when I came into the building. So I got greeted when I crossed the finish line by people with high fives and hugs. And then a couple minutes later, I walk inside and get a standing ovation. So I was like, wow, this
That's
is,
awesome.
yeah, it's great. And when
Yeah.
you're doing it without a crew and without a pacer, that it makes it a great experience because it can be a little bit when you finish one of these things, there's sometimes an emotional low versus a high, um,
Yeah.
Yes.
because it's like, what do I do now? And so when you have people around you just
Hmm.
cheering and celebrating and sharing their experience, it really just elevates the excitement of finishing.
Exactly. So you don't get into this, okay, you're finished, now you're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're kind of just now what?
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Um,
quiet.
but
Mhm.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
you're right. At the brewery, people are hanging out for hours and there's always someone to talk to.
And yeah.
Yep.
And they're funny because sometimes they've had too much to drink and you're just, I'm having delusions right now and they're right there with me.
Yeah. If you
Oh,
want to
so
have some
yeah.
fun talking to people that ran 200 miles that are dehydrated and undercaloried, but immediately down a couple of beers, they got fun stories to tell.
Oh yeah.
I can only drink Chase will tell you this, I'll have a sip of beer every year, and I get the giggles. I can't I don't I can't drink. I just I've tried. So they've handed me pickle beer. Yes, there is a pickle beer there, and I'm just like, I'll drink pickle juice on a race. I will. I
Yeah.
don't like to, but I'll do it. But a pickle beer, no.
No, it wasn't for
And
you.
I'm just like, who wakes up in the morning and says, "You know what? I think it'd be a great idea to make a pickle
I think the RDs called over and said, "Hey, can you make
Please
this?"
make one. Make one. Yeah. I'm surprised there wasn't a, Proxima C is their hydration specialist. I'm surprised there wasn't a Proxima C beer.
No,
No,
no. When you're done, you're done.
Yeah.
I'm sure if Chase watches this, you'll see it next year.
Yeah,
There's going to
he's
be
gonna be
one
like, "All
next
right."
year. Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna say, "You 3 are getting that. You made a face." But I do wanna
So
back up one time. Oh, go ahead.
go ahead. I was going to say one funny thing that happened to me in this race was there. So there was a little kid, I think he was 10, named Silas, that's there every year with his family, who is like the best
Yeah.
volunteer ever. And not only like super helpful and friendly, but he knows his stuff. Like he gives out really good advice when somebody's struggling. But so I saw him at one aid station and then I saw him at one later. And he's like, "Do you want to play a game?" And I'm like, "Sure." And he has a little swimming pool full of ducks. And he's like, "Now, if it has this one word, I forget the word is, pull it up, you'll get a ticket for a free beer at the end." So I pick a duck and he's like, "You won, you won. Here's your ticket." I get to the finish. I carry this ticket with me the entire rest of the race. I get there. I hand it to them. I'm like, "This was for my free beer." They're like, "No, he was just messing with you. That's not one of our tickets." And I was like, I like that kid even more."
Yep,
Yeah. That's awesome.
But
Was he
yeah,
they
the
did
same
give me
guy that was
but
handing
they
out?
yeah, the popsicle guy.
yeah,
Yes, yes. He's awesome.
Mhm.
yeah.
What were you about to say
You
you were gonna
know
go back to?
oh, well, first I would say he ran. He was like, "All, can I run with you into the aid station?"
Yep.
And I'm like, "Okay." And I thought his kid was gonna run from me. He's like, "I'm winning, I'm winning." And I'm like, "I'm trying, I'm trying." Good kid. He's gonna make a great ultra runner someday.
Yeah.
But the part I wanted to back up on is at the end of this race,
Mhm.
it's it's for some people, they will stand at a certain place that is a mile and a half away. Did you have look over the edge at all?
I
You
did a
know what
little
I'm
bit.
talking
Now
about.
yeah. So, my goal was sub 80,
Mhm,
um, and I kinda lost track of it and stopped caring and was just like, "I just need to get in under the cutoff." And then all of a sudden, with, like, 7 miles to go, I realized, like, "Oh, sub 80 is still possible." So I started to
Yeah,
take off. And it's my favorite part of the race is, like, the last 12 miles. You get some rolling hills alongside, it's a little different scenery, and I watch it but I was just plowing forward. And as I got about a quarter mile away from the bridge, Jeff, who, played in honor of his son, played the national anthem at the beginning,
mhm,
yeah, yeah.
he had to drop out due to hypothermia, but he came on out to greet me,
Oh,
there
nice.
and kinda go a couple miles with me. So I had him through that part of the section on the bridge, and then he took some photos of me, so stopped for a photo opportunity on the bridge. And then I was cruising to get my time going across the bridge, and I got about 80% of the way across the bridge, and I was like, "That's right, this is the most scenic part. What am I doing?" So I stopped and went to both sides and looked for a bit, took some photos, and then continued on. But yeah, a mile and a half, 2 miles to go. That iconic
mhm.
going over this long bridge, and you don't want to
Yeah,
go too close to the edge if you're a little wobbly because it's quite the fall.
So one runner told me he wanted to jump off. He said it would have been so much easier to get cooled off because he was so hot. And I'm like, "How far do you think that's down?" He's like, "Oh, 20,
Yeah,
30 feet. I could have made it." And I'm like, "No,
no.
no,
It's
hundreds and
higher
hundreds
than
of
that.
no."
feet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, and it
So
is kind of
yeah,
something
I
where, and I've done, the third time I've done the race, and the second time, and then this time, both times I got to the bridge, in my mind I was done. But you also have to remember, like, no, you still got over a mile to go.
yeah,
mhm. And you don't see it. It's just like you're wondering where the heck is the end.
Yeah.
I came through at a different time this year, and I'm looking, and I'm like, "There's no aid station there. What happened? Did they move it?" I was delusional, I'll be honest, but yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the sun really took a toll on us.
Yeah.
oh, did it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it
Yeah.
was, last year was a little hotter, but this
Mm-hmm.
year, there was absolutely no clouds at any point, and
No.
I think that just made it feel much hotter than even last year just because of that.
Yeah. And it wasn't as hot as last year. It just
Right, yeah.
was. It's a mind game. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, and it's this race,
Yep.
and for people that haven't done it, there are long periods between aid stations, so cooling strategies of, like, I have an ice bandana but, the ice is gonna last an hour, maybe 2 if you have a ton of ice. It's not
Yeah.
gonna then you're gonna have 3, 4 hours of no ice, and you're gonna get hot, so there's very
Mhm.
little you can do. You're just
Yep.
going if it's warm and sunny and no shade, you're gonna have a couple hours where you struggle through some heat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's no crying in ultra running, so,
And I
it's
I think about it every time we do the cowboy. There is this one section where you almost have a marathon between 8 stations, and there's
Yeah.
nothing in between. There's no stores, there's nothing you can do. And I'm thinking, "Damn, when I started running marathons, there was an aid station every 2 miles."
Yeah, and if it wasn't 2 miles, you were like, "You needed it right there," and now you're like, "Well."
Yeah.
yeah.
And I would just run a marathon just to get from one aid station to another, right? It's such a
Yeah.
different game.
Yeah.
Well, that's how I do
Yeah.
200s really. One aid station to
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
Yeah.
bacon cheeseburger to the next.
Yeah, I always look at Arabia. I'm like, all we gotta do is make it to Arabia. They have snacks there. They have all kinds of stuff. But then you have to go do the 14 miles. And I agree with you. It's very beautiful and it's different. You've got
Mhm.
rolling hills, but you know you're there, but you can't see it. And it's yeah.
I
But
think
Yeah.
I think I prefer it in the dark. I don't need to see that long stretch of rolling hill ahead of me. I just need to
Yeah.
go,
yeah,
right? I just need to see the 30 feet ahead of me.
yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. It does mess with your mind a
Um,
lot because a lot of people think that that they're just going uphill nonstop at the end, and you're not. The hills are going up and rolling around you, but you're pretty much flat, but it messes
Yeah.
with your
yeah,
mind.
it does. Yeah. Um, I think it's a good race. I
It
think
is.
I
Yeah.
really enjoy it. Um,
Are you guys
And you
going
know
back
what?
again?
Oh, heck yeah.
of
Heck
course
yeah.
we are.
If you're going, we're going.
I
I mean,
mean,
I need
Yeah, I'm
my
Chase
going.
start line.
Chase was teasing with his next year's buckle. It's gonna be red, white, and blue themed
Mhm.
because of the
Okay.
250
Of the country, yeah.
anniversary. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I'm doing it.
and I plan
I'm
to become
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
I was planning to become a U.S. citizen next year as well in the same
Oh,
year.
really?
So
Mhm.
yeah, so
Awesome.
it's gonna be a big year. I can't say no to a red, white, and blue buckle.
Maybe at the start of the race, we'll have you sing the national anthem next year just to make sure you know it.
Oh,
Yes.
I don't think you want.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
I like it.
you
I
do not
like
want
your
that.
idea.
Or we might have early starters to get away from me.
Yeah, yeah,
No
yep.
one's gonna walk with you.
Or I can offer to do it after the start so that
After
people
okay.
have a chance to get away.
They take off and run a fast mile, so
Yeah.
Yeah, this year
yeah,
we're gonna do the fast mile.
I'm I'm
Yeah,
looking
So,
so
forward
you're
to it
gonna be
again.
like
I'm definitely gonna break 72 hours next year to finish under 3 days. That's my goal, and
awesome.
that's just a matter of putting in the right type of training ahead of time to make sure I can run a little bit more than I walk. But
Yeah,
right.
if you finish it 5 times, they put you in their Hall of Fame, and
exactly.
when I announced that, I was like, "Well, take my money for a couple more years. I'm gonna keep doing it."
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
exactly how we feel. I'm like, I wanna be in that Hall of Fame. I mean, Addison's getting it first, and I'm like, well, if
Yep.
Addison can do it.
yeah,
Yeah, Addison's gonna be the first person.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. He always runs with us on those back sections you're talking
Oh, does
about
it?
because yeah, he goes slower as well. So he likes to group up, and it happens to be that we always are babysitting him. And, if Addison's listening to this, yes, it is a babysitting job. And
Plus, he knows that I have the extra water he always runs out
it's
of.
because he carries that ice water. And so Addison does not want to be without that cold water. But So it's good to know that, I think with him doing that and stopping with other people, it's another person that really just, makes this race.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And I think we all take care of each other. And that's the
Mhm.
stories that I think come from the Cowboy 200 is that we are a family.
Yeah, it's one of the most close-knit groups year-round
Hmm.
yeah,
that I found, and it just keeps growing, so there's more people, but there's a lot of people that are repeat people,
Yep.
and then
exactly.
a fair amount of new people, and I think if people are thinking about doing their first 200 miler, um, it's really a great one almost for that camaraderie
Yep.
from the moment you sign on online, join that Facebook group, there's all
Yeah,
sorts of chatter and encouragement and jokes and things, and then it's a very social group even at the start of the race more so than because you have some ultras where the crowd is maybe a little bit more serious and zoned in and focused, and this one, it's kind of like everybody's laughing and having a good time, and then the gun goes off to
yeah,
start, and you're like, "Oh, okay, I guess we'll take off," so it's a pretty social group.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I've not met one rude person there. I have not met one person that isn't for the next person next to them, even if they're
And
competing.
to someone listening and considering doing this race, when some of the people that have done it for several years give you advice, listen to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to these detours, and we tell you
Yes.
drink lots of water before you set out, and
Yeah.
then fill your bottles. Please do
That
so.
Please do so.
that's true. I came upon a group of 5 people that it was all their first time. They were together going into that aid station right before you turn off, to
Yeah,
do the detour. Not the aid station, the water drop before you start the first detour. And I was like, Everybody treat this like an aid station. Make sure all your water is full as it can be. This section is gonna be a lot longer than you think." Um,
yeah,
but yeah, we all did that detour together, and that was real fun.
Yeah.
yeah,
I always tell people, drink your body weight in of the water. You're gonna have to go TT a lot, but really it's worth
Mhm.
it. It's worth that one. Yeah.
it
Yeah, I
does
mean,
keep
well,
you cooled down.
there wasn't a lot of rain, so if you have to go to the bathroom a lot, you're just helping to water the farms along the way.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, and by that time in an ultra, no one cares. So
No, no.
Yeah.
That that's
Just
when
don't.
yeah.
it's so true. So
Nobody cares.
I do Tunnel Hill almost every year, and I laugh every year, the Tunnel Hill 100, because you'll see guys in the first half mile, mile 2 that have to go to the bathroom, and they are hiking through the trees and going like a quarter mile back to go to the bathroom. Once you get past mile 50, you're lucky if somebody even steps off the trail. They're just turning and
Yeah.
going, and
Yes.
nobody cares anymore at that point. But the beginning of the
Nobody
race, they're like, "I should have manners. I should go off into the end," and yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I just love ultras. I feel like
Mhm.
I should go run one right now.
we're like,
Yeah, let's go.
yeah. Well, you,
Let's go.
yeah. Well, you got one in 2 weeks, so.
Yep.
Which one are you doing in 2
Well,
weeks?
not
Oh, we're just pacing,
Okay,
Bobby Keogh. And so we're
Route
gonna
66.
yeah, there's 66. And are you doing
okay.
Tunnel Hill?
I am doing it. I wasn't, I had no races on my schedule, and then there was a brand that's gonna be there that reached out to me and was like, "We got a free entry. Do you wanna take it?" And a minute later, I had already signed up on Ultra Sign Up, and I was like, "I'm in, I'm doing it." And there's several people from the Cowboy 200 that are gonna be doing it too, so it'd be cool
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
see them there.
I've heard good things about Tunnel Hill.
What are you doing at Christmas, like at New Year specifically?
Um, no plans, and
Okay,
I'm
why?
a I'm a single guy with no prospects, so I won't be having a New Year's Eve date, so if there's a race out there that you know of, I'm all ears.
Okay, let's go and do across the year 6 day together.
Oh, I've always wanted to do that one.
Oh, you can hang out with us. Renee dresses up as a dinosaur for the New Year's loop, and it could be fun. And I bet you could get 300 miles out of that.
No, oh, I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, 6
easily.
days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a camper so you can camp, and we got a canopy. Yeah. So I'm gonna bug you once a week with the sign up details.
Here's the link, here's the link.
Come, come, come.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
as
but you
for
said Tunnel Hill. You guys Tunnel Hill's one that's, it's, rails to trails thing, but really good aid stations, but the cool thing about that race is 350 people do the 100, 350 people do the 50. You all start together, and there's out and back, out and back, out and back, out and back. Uh, every 25 miles is a different section. So
Okay.
every 12 to 13 miles, you're coming back around. So you see everybody multiple times, and so you can kind of see your friends and that, but you also get to see the race develop in front of you. And there's always people
Right.
trying to
Wow.
set the 100 or 50-mile record here. So you get to
Yeah.
see them pass you several different times and feel like you're almost watching a sporting event while you're in a sporting event.
Yeah.
Oh, that is cool. That is
Mhm.
cool. But it's on our list to do.
Yeah, it is. I think next year we're looking into doing it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
we are not really.
Yeah, I am.
Well,
But
we're not
across
really.
oh,
We're not turning down number of 200s.
yeah.
We're just trying to throw in more
Yeah.
100s next year.
Into it.
We're trying to get that 100, 100.
Yeah.
But yeah, across the years is like that. It has a 6-day, a 72, a 48, a 24, a 12, a 6, a marathon, a 100 miler, a 200 miler, a
Yeah.
last man standing, and then the what is it? The centurion, which is race walkers that they have to do 100 miles in 24 hours,
Only walking,
all at the
no
same
running.
time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's, I don't think I walk very fast. But I don't know about being able to keep that pace up for 100 miles. I think I would struggle around mile 60 or 70 to keep that pace.
I mean,
You
Just
and me
walking.
both.
the people that attempt are so impressive to watch.
Yeah, they're just
Yeah.
They're
going along
just
and
going and they go fast.
yeah,
Yeah. So it's definitely an interesting race
yes.
because you
Yeah.
have all kinds of distances going on at the same time.
Yeah.
And the
And so people
72
are kinda
hours and the
doing their own
48
things
hours can
and
start. Yeah. And there's 48 and 72 hours can start multiple days. So it's only the sixth day, I think, that starts at the
Okay.
very beginning and goes until the very end.
till
And
the
there's
end.
cake at the end, and the icing is this thick, I'm not
See?
kidding. They'll give you a sub sandwich and then the cake with the icing, and I'm telling you, after 6 days of doing whatever it is you're doing in a circle, that cake is so good. And
If
they brought
if you
chocolate
think
last year, and I'm like, "Who would eat chocolate?" It's gotta be vanilla cake, vanilla icing.
if you think I will
Yep.
run for 6 days straight just to get free cake, you're right, I would.
Yeah,
See?
yeah. Alright, so you should come.
What does that tell you? You also get cake if you only run 72 hours.
Well, you have to be there at the end.
Mm.
Yeah. But you can start late with the 72 hours and be there until the end.
Don't put it that way.
No, it's 6 days or nothing, right?
And it's
Yeah.
an aid station that's 24/7, so it's pretty good.
Mm. Well, I don't know if you
I
guys
mean,
are like this, but I'm any race that I go to, whatever is the furthest distance, I have to do that one.
We do
I
the
I don't
same.
know,
yeah, I'm doing 6
like
days.
Tunnel Hill would have made a lot of sense coming off at 200 a couple weeks ago to just do the 50. No, 100.
No.
Have to
Yep,
do
Yeah,
it.
100, why not?
yeah,
Yeah.
you
Mhm.
have to. You're an ultra runner, you have to. It's
Yeah, gotta push the distance.
Yeah. And that's what we do. We always pick the longest distance or the longest time,
Yep.
Mhm.
and then we'll figure out how we're gonna train for it later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You can always come out and do the summit with us.
Yeah, that's why I'll probably go out and volunteer there. I was looking at my, race schedule. One thing I started to do is, it's probably a good idea for all runners to do is I'm purposely making myself schedule the races I'm gonna volunteer at first for the
Mhm.
coming year, and then look at the races I wanna run, and so I'm trying to get more
Yeah.
intentional about volunteering at more races, and so that's one I wanna get out to and volunteer. There's another one they're putting on that I might do, I'm pretty tempted, is, was it Pilgrimage?
Yes, the
Yes.
Yeah,
pilgrimage.
where you're set up at one spot, and there's all sorts of different
Mhm.
variations and things, you don't know quite which route you're gonna go at what time. But for
So
me, I
what's
like it because
Yeah.
there's variety. I don't like any backyard races or things because I don't wanna do the same loop. But this one, you're doing a couple of different loops, but I also love that there's one home base as an uncrewed person that I can have my whole
Yeah.
setup there, everything I need. and be there and kind of go out and do it. And so I'm excited about maybe doing that one.
Oh,
Oh, you
so
should.
you should because we are doing live podcasting during the whole event. So you can
Are
come
you
and
okay?
sit down in
Yeah,
our podcasting room and talk about it. We're gonna run at you with what is it?
a little GoPro.
The GoPro. So we're gonna see the suffering. We're doing photography out there. So I'm hoping to catch people like at their worst. He wants them smiling. I want them throwing up. So
Will you be putting on the dinosaur costume at all for this?
I might just for the entertainment
yeah.
at the aid station. Yeah.
You should maybe go out in the middle of nowhere at night with that on, and then
Yeah.
see who reports hallucinations of seeing a dinosaur.
Oh, that
Oh,
would be
that could be fun.
good.
Can I bring my
Mhm.
lightsaber?
Yes, you can bring your
See,
lightsaber.
that'll be
I,
good.
I'm
Yeah.
always surprised there aren't more people in the races I do that don't report seeing Bigfoot. They come up along me and think that like, there he is. It's Bigfoot.
Yeah, yeah.
When I first met you, I was like, I want to have a hallucination with him being in front of me and coming out of the woods. I mean, I know what you'd have been doing in the woods, but coming
Mhm.
out and just be like, oh my God.
I think that the creepiest thing when you're running is when you see someone far ahead of you and you see their headlamp
And it's
at night.
swaying back
It's
and
like they're
forth.
floating in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and the Cowboy 200 is one, as you guys know, where you can see their headlight forever because it's so straight.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But then also the reflections on a lot of the different posts on the trail and things look like headlamps a lot. So often you
Yeah.
think
Oh,
you're
yeah.
getting closer to somebody, and no, it was just a trail sign.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the last 15 miles, the number of times we looked over our shoulder and we see someone following us, and it turns out it was a tree. A tree far, far away looked like
First of
someone
all,
Yeah.
running on the trail against you. Yeah.
I did forget one decent
Yeah.
hallucination I had for a little period of time that actually did startle and scare me for a second. Was I looked to the right and there was a giant guy following me. And
Oh,
it only took me a couple of seconds then to realize it was my shadow, but I still had like I had like a minute or two period where I was stopping and looking and being like, okay, it's gone. So it's definitely my shadow. And I'd start to move again. I was like, but am I sure it's my shadow? And I was, you know, 10 miles away from the aid station, middle of nowhere. Why would somebody be choosing to follow me at that part? But
yeah.
I was certain I was being followed for a little bit.
See, I knew you had a hallucination.
I had one. I just
But it
forgot
does,
it.
that loneliness out there, it does mess with your head,
Yes,
Yeah.
it does.
Yeah. Once I knew it
big
was my
time.
shadow, it was like I had a new friend. It was going to be my pacer.
Well, did you
Huh?
talk to it? Did you interact? I like interacting
Was
with
he
my
as smart as you
hallucinations.
were? Is what I wanna
Yeah.
know.
Well, it was, yeah, it was, it helped me give me some good advice along the way. I was too busy talking to the cows though, to be able to talk to my shadow.
Oh, yeah.
I like talking to the cows and I can see their little thing right here. And I'll be like, you know what? You don't move with me. I'm going to go find the farmer and I'm going to buy you. And then I'm like, oh, but wait, I have a fork and knife. And I mean, I'll get these big conversations and the cows in my mind are going, oh,
Yeah. You're telling them, you're gonna eat them.
yes, right there on the
Yeah.
trail.
Yeah.
But I feel like they know what I'm saying and they're just looking at me going, they're backing up slowly. And then one's coming out of the woodwork looking at me like,
One
oh
of them
no,
just looked at you and said, "Try
try it.
it."
It did.
I
It
dare
said
you.
it. With a mobster voice.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. The Cowboy Trail.
The Cowboy Trail, yeah.
What
It's a
happens on
great
the
race.
cowboy trail stays on the cowboy trail, except when it's shared in
Absolutely.
podcasts.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's the general rule.
So I want to thank you for coming on today. It's been fun. And, I'm going to start bugging you about across the years.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just gonna send him the link.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Until he
So,
signs
And
up.
yeah.
with a photo of a cake.
Yes.
Yes. Oh,
Yes.
I've got photos of me eating the cake.
Oh, yeah,
So,
yeah, you have. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's how we do it.
How we roll. But I want to thank you for coming
Yeah, thank you
on.
so much.
Yeah, thanks for
And,
having me on. This is fun.
yeah.
And
Absolutely.
hopefully
We
it
might as well
Two of
do
encourages
you
a
this
have your
couple more
again.
people. hopefully encourages a
Yep.
couple
Oh,
more
yeah.
people to join us at Cowboy next year.
Yes.
Absolutely. I hope so.
Mhm.
The more the merrier.
Yes.
Mhm.
Um,
Yep.
yeah. But I'm sure we'll have you on again sometime later next year.
Yes. Well, after he's
Yeah,
on
I
across
I'd
the years.
Yeah.
I'd love to pick a race that I think you won't be able to guess. That would be fun.
Oh, yeah. That would be fun. Absolutely. We love that.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
All right then.
so have a great evening, and
You guys
we'll
too.
talk to you soon.
Enjoy
Okay.
your dad. Bye.
Bye.